The sun rose over the wide African forest, painting the sky with orange and gold. The air was cool, and the ground sparkled with drops of dew. The forest was alive with sound. Birds sang from the tops of tall baobab trees. Parrots squawked in bright red and green. Small sunbirds darted between flowers. Among these many birds lived Konyo. Konyo was not the largest bird, nor the loudest. But he was the most admired. His feathers were golden brown with streaks of orange that shone when sunlight touched them. They were smooth and neat, always clean. Konyo was gentle and respectful to all animals. He shared food with the hungry. He helped chicks that fell from their nest. Other animals called him the heart of the sky because of his kindness. One morning, Konyo flew to the river to drink water. There he saw Nibo, the peacock. Nibo's feathers looked dull and broken. His tail had lost most of its shine. He looked tired and upset. Nibo sighed. "Konyo, the festival of colors is coming. All the birds will show their feathers. But look at me. I will be laughed at." Konyo tilted his head. "Nibo, your feathers are still strong. You only need to clean them and rest." Nibo shook his head. "No, Konyo. You don't understand. The other birds already whisper about me. They say I am not worthy to be called a peacock. I wish I had feathers like yours." Konyo did not answer right away. He felt bad for Nibo. The Festival of Colors was the biggest event in the forest. Every year, birds gathered at the wide stone circle near the river. They danced, sang, and spread their wings to show the beauty of nature. Konyo looked at Nibo and said softly, "I will think about how to help you." The next day, Nibo found Konyo again. This time, his voice was more desperate. "Konyo, you are the only bird who can save me from shame. I beg you, lend me some of your feathers for the festival. I will return them when it ends." Konyo hesitated. Feathers were not like simple objects that could be given and taken back easily. They took time to grow. Losing them meant losing some of his ability to fly fast. Still, Konyo's heart was soft. "Nibo, why not wear the feathers you have with pride? They are part of who you are." Nibo lowered his head. "Because they are ugly compared to yours. If I walk into the festival like this, they will laugh. If I have your feathers, they will cheer. Please, Konyo, just for one day." Konyo remembered how he himself once felt small when younger birds teased him for having short wings. He had worked hard to grow strong. He didn't want anyone else to feel that shame. Finally, Konyo nodded. "I will give you some of my feathers. But you must promise to return them after the festival." Nibo's eyes lit up. "I promise." "You are a true friend, Konyo." The day of the Festival of Colors arrived. The forest came alive with songs, dances, and bright displays of wings. Birds flew from all corners: parrots, hornbills, sunbirds, starlings. They gathered in a large stone circle near the river. The circle was decorated with fresh flowers and bright seeds arranged in patterns. When Nibo arrived, wearing Konyo's feathers, the crowd gasped. His tail now glowed with gold and orange streaks. Sunlight bounced off every feather, making him look like a king. "Oh, Nibo," a parrot cried. "You are the most beautiful bird here." Even the elders of the forest, who rarely praised anyone, nodded in approval. Nibo spread his tail wide, enjoying the attention. He danced proudly while others clapped their wings. Konyo watched quietly from the edge of the circle. He was happy that Nibo felt confident, but a small worry sat in his heart. After the festival, many animals talked only about Nibo. "He is the pride of the forest," they said. "He should lead the next festival." The praise went to Nibo's head. He began to act differently. He no longer greeted smaller birds. He stopped sitting with his old friends. When Konu came to ask for his feathers back, Nibo smiled politely but said, "Not yet. The other birds expect to see me like this. I will return them after the next moon." Konu frowned. "Nibo, you promised." "Yes," Nibo replied, "and I will keep it. But not now. These feathers have brought me respect. You still have enough to fly. What harm is there in waiting?" Konu walked away, but his heart felt heavy. One evening, Konu went to visit Tira, the wise hornbill who lived in an old hollow tree. Tira was known for her sharp mind and honest advice. Konu explained everything. Tira shook her large beak. "You made a mistake, Konu. Pride is like fire. Once it starts burning, it is hard to put out. Nibo's heart is no longer humble." "But I trusted him," Konu said quietly. "Trust is good," Tira replied, "but trust must be guarded. Go and ask for your feathers again. If he refuses, bring the matter to the forest council." Konu nodded. He didn't want to cause trouble, but he could not let his kindness be stolen. The next morning, Konu went to Nibo's resting place under a fig tree. "Nibo," he said firmly, "it is time to return my feathers." Nibo didn't even look up. "Konu, I told you, not yet. You promised after the festival." "I changed my mind," Nibo said. "These feathers suit me better. You will grow new ones. Why should we argue over this?" Konu's wings stiffened. "Because they are mine. I gave them in kindness, not to lose them forever." Nibo laughed softly. "Then go to the council if you must. I am not giving them back." Konu turned away, anger rising in his chest. That evening, Konu called for a meeting of the forest council. All the elders, the hornbill, the eagle, the old tortoise, the wise owl, gathered in the stone circle. Konu explained the story from the beginning. Nibo stood proudly, denying nothing. "I do not deny that the feathers came from Konu," Nibo said. "But he gave them to me. He never said when I must return them." "That is not true," Konu protested. The council listened carefully. Tira spoke first. "A promise was made. Breaking it breaks the peace of the forest." The eagle narrowed his eyes at Nibo. "You wear beauty that is not yours. Return it." But Nibo shook his head. "I will not." The council decided they would meet again in 3 days to give Nibo time to think. 2 nights later, a great storm hit the forest. Rain poured down. Lightning flashed. The wind was strong enough to break branches. Nibo's borrowed feathers, though beautiful, were not as strong as his own. The rain soaked them, and they became heavy. Nibo struggled to move. Finally, a strong wind ripped some of them away. By morning, his tail was half empty. The remaining feathers clung awkwardly. Konu found some of his lost feathers scattered on the ground. He picked them up without a word. When the council met again, Nibo arrived looking tired and embarrassed. His once proud tail was now thin and uneven. "I have learned my lesson," Nibo said. "I wanted beauty, but I lost my honor. Konu, I am sorry." Konu accepted the apology, but he knew things would never be the same between them. Trust, once broken, is slow to return. The council reminded all the animals that beauty borrowed is never true beauty. Months passed. Konu's feathers grew back fully. The next festival of colors came, and this time Nibo wore his own feathers, not as bright, but clean and well kept. He danced without shame. Konu danced too, not for praise, but for joy. From that day, the story of the bird who lent his feathers became part of forest history, a tale told to young birds so they would know that trust must be honored, and pride must be kept in check.